was a question from No Goat 6887. Um, and this question was very long. And then at the end, he added an edit. Edit. I could have made this whole post shorter and just asked, what's the most I can get done in the least amount of time? And this was in the context of resistance training. So basically asking, if you don't want to necessarily train for optimal to get as strong as possible or build as much muscle as quickly as you can, um, what can you get away with to still get a lot of the benefits while trying to maximize efficiency? So, most results with the least time and effort investment possible. Um, and so this it wasn't clear whether this was specifically about strength or a combination of strength and hypertrophy. For strength, there was a recent study by one of the Stronger by Science coaches, Pack, on the minimal effective dose of training for strength development. Um, if you just plug that exact phrase into Google, I'm sure his paper will come up. And he previously authored a brief meta-analysis on that as well. So you can check out those two things. For a combination of strength and hypertrophy, I think what I'm about to say will get the job done pretty well to get you, I don't know, maybe 70% of the gains you would be capable of achieving in minimal time. So, first off, I think you should be training with pretty moderate loads and in moderate rep ranges. So, I'm going to operationally define that as sets of 5 to 15 reps. You should mostly be doing compound lifts because you're going to be training more musculature per unit of time invested and per set you're doing. Um, Frequency can be fairly low, 1 to 2 times per muscle group per week. You don't have to do a ton of sets, about 2 to 3 sets per exercise. If you wanted to maximize hypertrophy long term, volume would probably need to creep up. But to get reasonably large, you don't need insane levels of training volume. But you should have a pretty high level of effort per set. So training to failure or within a rep or two of failure. So I think the most stripped down version of this um, is so. Actually, this is exactly what I tell people to do when they come to me with this question. They say like, "Hey, look, I don't want to spend much time training at all. Maybe like an hour total per week. What should I do?" So you're going to train twice a week. One day, you're going to do squat, overhead press, and either rows or pull ups, whichever one you want to do. And the other day, you're going to do deadlift, bench press, and either rows or pull ups, whichever one you didn't do the first day. For the squat, bench press, deadlift, overhead press, you're going to do 3 sets. You're going to take them all basically to failure or until you feel like your form is about to just completely go to shit. And you're going to start with a load that you can do for about 15 reps. And if you're going to err a little bit low, if you do, 16, 18 reps the first week, that's totally fine. And then week over week, you just go up by 5 or 10 pounds and just try to maintain as many reps as possible as the weights go up. And then eventually, when you hit a 5 rep max, and like, oh, when I go up in weight next week, I'm going to do fewer than 5 reps, you just start over. So you go back to whatever weight you did the first time. So, you use an app, use a spreadsheet, keep a training log, like make note of your weights and performances over time. So just start over and just try to beat the number of reps you did all the way back up. So the weight you started with that you could initially do for 15 reps, if now you can do it for 18, cool, that's progress. And that's also more than 15 reps. So the next time you start back over, just skip that first week and start with something that corresponds to about 15 reps. And same thing, repeat the process, build back up, and try to hit a heavier 5 rep max in your kind of final week of this build up than you did previously. If you do that, cool, you made progress, you're stronger, and just start over again. So that's what you're going to do with squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, 2 to 3 sets. Really go all out every time. And then for rows and pull ups, pull downs, just any upper back training. Um, I mean, I think just do like 3 or 4 sets and just hammer 'em. No one's gonna ask what your 1 rep max row is. Uh, so, you're just trying to crank it out, get the work in, and I don't think you need to think about those too terribly hard. If you can maintain more than 15 reps over 3 or 4 sets, add some more weight to the bar. If you guess too heavy and by the last set you're not able to complete 5 or 6 reps, take a little weight off the bar, but just really get after it for 3 or 4 sets and you'll be good. So um six total exercises, 2 training sessions per week. um that's not gonna make you the most muscular or the strongest person in the world, but you should be able to get all of that done in about 30 minutes per session. And most people should be able to make pretty decent gains from that. So that is exactly what I would recommend in the situation that you're describing.